You are now listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Andy podcast.
Welcome to Ride With Me, episode 31. Today is December 5th, 2020. Already December, bro.
Yes, it's already December.
$5 to whoever guessed this guy's voice. Yeah, right. I don't have money.
Nah, man. With Letty getting a job, you're good. You're golden, man.
Yeah, right. It's the best thing that can happen to this family. I'm like, no more freeloading for you and the kids. Well,
I heard you're offering non-interest-free loans right now.
the kids can freaking still freeload for a little while. But no, she started working, so it's like a blessing in disguise, pretty much. And she's been looking for work, dude. She was just the when COVID hit, all her freaking appointments got canceled, and it's like, well, you have to wait until all this shit's over, because she studied to go to be a teacher, or like to work with kids.
Yeah.
What she's doing doesn't involve kids, but I mean, it's a start. You know, get her going, get back. She's been wanting to work for a while already. Every time she asks for something, it's like, babe, you know the answer to that.
Well, it's kind of like the beer industry. To get your best way to get your foot in the door is you have to start as a merchandiser like the rest of us. Sorry.
I went straight to sales, bro. But anyways, if you guys already guessed the voice, my buddy Paul Valadez is back on the podcast.
Oh, what's up? Third time.
Third time, bro.
Who's hit 3 times?
I think Ricky's been on 4. Which Uncle Roy said, it's the Flat Tire Andy podcast, not the Flat Tire Ricky podcast.
Well, I don't know. Everybody finds them interesting because of these police officer and stuff. So.
And he's welcome to come. Like lately, he's been busy.
Okay.
But I really don't feel like having the police here at my house, anyways.
Okay, especially when we had the party and his entrance.
Oh yeah, no.
That was classic.
That's right. You were here for that.
Yeah.
You were here for that. So Paul was our DJ for my sister-in-law's 30th birthday party back in mid-October.
Yeah.
And it was just a small gathering, just like the 20th. He was the 20th person, which I kind of heard you were inviting people.
No, I wasn't inviting people.
That's not what I heard. I heard you just got to come dressed as Harry Potter.
Who was it?
The receiver at El Super.
Yasid. Well, no, he asked me. He got mad. And he told me, he's all, that guy didn't invite me. He told me about it, and he didn't even invite me. I'm like, I don't see why not.
Nah, it was just like we got hit up by family and friends, and like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, man, it's a small get together, and it wasn't that big of a trip. Of a party. It's just, it did look crazy because my wife had the floating candles and freaking the whole freaking.
It was pretty cool.
It all was Harry Potter themed. And I had that brand new basketball game, and the beer pong table came out where
you got demolished.
I'm done. I retired.
Yeah, I was hearing all these stories that you're number one, and that day I was like, what happened? Like, what's going on?
Dude, I lost to my own suegro, bro.
And he was happy. That was the highlight of his night. He's like, I just beat Andy.
Yeah, he was. He was happy.
See, but you're when I have family parties, I remember I had one family party, like I think it was back in like 2006.
Yeah.
And there were so many people, I was getting so annoyed, I wanted them to all leave. I called the cops on my own party.
What? You're such a dick.
Yeah. I called the cops on my own party.
Oh, man.
And at the time, my kid's mom was like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, I wanted it in. It's 2 a.m. Your family's still here. My brother's not leaving. I go, I already know how he's going to get once he keeps on drinking. I know how your brother's going to get. I go, I'm not breaking up that fight. And she's just like, well, my sister's still here. She came from Arizona. And I'm like, I don't care.
She's got to go.
She's got to go. They got to leave. Go. And, well, what are we going to do? I'm like, I don't know. So I was sitting outside, and my son's godfather was outside. He's all, let's call the cops.
Damn. Call the cops on your own party.
Yeah, so
everybody left at the time they were supposed to leave. So.
Well, you had the cops there, dude. So
that's right. Officer Ricky was here to kick everybody out.
Well, no, you could have called the sheriff's department. They would have looked at him like, "Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
you have to get out of here.
Get out of here." But anyways, the last time we talked, bro, your dogs killed a coyote.
Yeah, they went to town on a coyote, man.
How are they doing?
They're good. They're it was the main one, which is my female. Her name is Darla. She I don't know what happened. I let them out usually. I usually let them out every morning. They're like clockwork. 5 in the morning, boom, they're up. But I'm usually up at 4:30 no matter what.
Dude, you text me one day like at 3 in the morning,
Oh yeah,
knowing that I would be awake. What's up, man?
Yeah, I hardly sleep, dude. I could go to bed at 11, wake up around like 3, and act like I slept for like 8 hours and just keep going.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, long story short, let him out. Then all I heard was a tussle. Like I just heard all the dogs going crazy. Then when I looked outside, they were both tugging at a coyote. I guess somehow, some way, the coyote got into the yard, which it's gated.
But you live literally on the edge of the mountain, don't you?
Yeah, I live right there. The foothills are right there. Coyotes come in.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you earlier, they killed a mouse. Yeah, I don't know if they killed the mouse. They got in a fight with a raccoon already. They destroyed a raccoon. But when I was looking at the videotape, it froze up my puppy. He's only a year old, and he doesn't have that evil malice in him. But my older one, Darla, she's 4 years old, but she's been in. I think she's institutionalized. She's been in and out of shelters, rescues.
Yeah.
Finally, she's with me, so she knew what to do. So it kind of cornered my puppy, and then I remember looking at the video. I got to show you it. I got to download it to my phone. You see her just jolt right across, no hesitation, and just went into the coyote, and they started going at it.
Damn.
And then after that, the puppy saw it and was like, "Oh crap! Like it's hurting my sister." So he jumped in, but then I have another one, the ace in the hole, the bigger guy.
You have a total of 3 dogs.
I have 3.
Oh, okay.
My massive, and he came out. Well, he's lazy, dude. He's older. He's lazy. He won't go out. He'll go out, do his business, and he'll come back and lay on the bed.
Yeah.
But he went out there and he just started, like, he noticed it, and I never seen him run. Like, he'll run if I have food, but he ran quick and he just chomped it, and you just see that it was basically 3-on-1, and I left it there. I took him out. Took the dogs to do after that to go get checked out. A couple of them got stitches. But when I came home, the coyote was still there. But I left it there for all the dogs in the neighborhood to see. Like, you come to this area, your dog's
Kind of like in Game of Thrones. Tell them what you've seen.
Yeah. Well, because everybody in the neighborhood has those little foo-foo dogs. Like, they're little dogs. And if you know anything about the bully breed, everybody always... Pit bull is a generalized term for the dogs. It's pretty much a bully breed is bred for hunting. So any little dog it sees it as prey. It doesn't see it as, oh, that's a dog. Hey, cool.
Yeah.
No matter what, it sees it as prey. And so there's a bunch of them all around. And I told the neighbor I remember the dog came in by my fence. And then I remember seeing my female just grab it, like literally stick her paw out through the fence and grab it and drag it in.
Damn.
And I told her, I go, you can't have your dog around my fence. She's like, well, she always has done this before I moved in. I was like, well, that's before I moved in. Now they can't.
Yeah.
And she's like, so I got a bunch of Karens around my house.
Oh, speaking of that, we'll get into a Karen conversation. My dogs actually, dude, when somebody's walking by, you hear about 50 to 60 dogs barking at whoever's walking by. Yeah. Our dogs are like, oh, look at the little puppies. And they're being petted and everything. Like, what the hell, man? Like, so when I know I already said the story about the vet telling me that those dogs weren't going to protect the house.
Yeah.
Every time I see, like I said, somebody like out there and then they're just petting my dogs. I'm like, I remember what the hell. It's like, yeah, dude, they weren't meant to be protectors. But I do see that when we go hiking,
yeah,
they do protect. We went. I'll get to the Karen topic first, and then I'll get into the dogs defending me. So we started hiking. For all of you guys that are around here in La Puente area or this territory, it's the one on 7th Street. Like if you're on Valley.
It's past the Shell and Denny's up there.
Yes. Actually, I think it's a Chevron. Yeah. But it's if you're in La Puente area, it's the one down 7th Street. Like if you're on Valley and you turn on 7, like going towards the 60 freeway, it's literally where 7th Street ends.
Yeah, it's past the In-N-Out. If you the In-N-Out right there by the freeway, then you go under
the Chevron and you keep going, and then there's residential. There's a school. Like people park their cars at the school,
Yeah.
and then you go up in the mountain. It's pretty cool because it has the signs, it has a gate, everything says, the hours and stuff. Because usually when we used to go hiking back in the day, it was just like 24 hours. I mean, we're not going to go at night, but here they actually lock the door at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so this was the first time going to this on this hike, and I told the wife, since we don't know this hiking trail, I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
You want to know why they close them at
Exactly.
night. You want to know?
GPS. I want to see because I see on the GPS that there's an entrance right here and the exits on the other side of this road that is still walking distance to the car. Not a problem. We'll do that. And so we get to we're hiking first time there. Obviously we're a little tired because it starts off smooth, but then it gets a little hard, and then it gets smooth and hard and smooth again.
Yeah.
There's a part that the kids start calling it the oasis. That's what they're calling that little part. So we get there for the first time, and there's other people there, and okay, well, where does this path lead you to? And they're like, well, we don't know, but this path leads you to some other place. Then I told the wife, well, we're gonna go up this one because that's what the GPS is showing on the map.
Yeah.
It's showing a hiking trail on the little GPS, so let's go up this one. We go that way. We get to a certain point where now you have to make a choice, left or right. So again, I told the wife, well, we're going to go right because that's what the GPS is showing. So, okay, cool. We start walking, and then most of it is downhill now.
Yeah.
We're done. We're not even tired anymore. And we're just going down. And then, again, here we go. We get to a certain... So we're walking. Actually, no, we're walking. And at one point, I see that we're no longer on the GPS hiking trail. But it led us off somewhere else. And I'm like shitting bricks. Now, obviously... As a man of the house, I'm not going to say, oh, shit, I'm fucking scared.
You're not going to be like the George Costanza episode of Seinfeld when he yells out fire, pushes out all the kids.
No. I'm shitting bricks. I'm like, okay, we're lost. Let's just keep walking, see where it takes us, and then go from there. So at one point, like I said, we're walking, and it puts us back on the hiking trail based on the GPS. All right, cool. But then we're walking away from this second exit. Like, no, we have to go back. We go back, but it's gated. But there's like a little part where you can squeeze through the fence. And we had just seen people like maybe 5 minutes before already on that trail. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's the exit.
Yeah.
We got, we go through that path. We come to a dead end, bro. The gate is like literally like freaking Mexican wall with those big black bars and shit.
Yeah.
We can't get over that fence. I'm like, oh, shit. Then we looked at there's like a residential area.
Yeah.
I'm like, we can climb that brick wall or go back 2 hours. What's it gonna be? So my wife said, let's climb the wall. Boys jumped over the wall like nothing. I boosted my wife, then I jumped up. I climbed back down. I helped her get down, and when I'm helping her get down, there comes Karen. Do you know how many laws you broke? Now this is an old man. So what are they, Kevins then?
Nah, it's all Karen.
It's all Karens? Okay, so there comes Karen, starts yelling at us. Do you know how many laws you broke? I'm like, we're lost. We got lost. And he's like, no, you guys broke the law. You guys can't be in there, blah, blah, blah. Sir, we got lost. And the biggest thing that I freaking hate, my biggest pet peeve is when you call me a liar, bro. Where's your car at? He's like, where's your car at? I'm like, my car is nowhere near here. Yeah, right. And he's like arguing with me. I'm like, we're at the point I want to tell him to fuck off, but my kids are there. Usually I would have told him to fuck off. Where he's, like I said, yelling. He kind of starts backing off, and my wife's like, just leave it alone. Just drop it. I'm like, babe, but I don't like to be called a fucking liar. And he's calling me a liar. And then there's this couple in their car, and they're kind of cleaning their car. And they're like, dude, ignore him. They told us in Spanish, just ignore him. He's pretty much the Karen of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So as we're walking towards the car, I see what made him upset. Yes, every day they have random people parked in their territory.
Yeah.
Which is public street, but I still understand why he gets upset.
Yeah.
You get all these random, maybe they've gotten broken into in the past or something, or maybe because we were Mexican.
Well, no, well, it could be that. Then also, you got to look at it as, they pay for that. They pay for, that's pretty much going to be like a nice area.
Yeah.
So for any outsiders coming in, they're kind of looking at it like, what are you going to bring? Like,
Exactly. Yeah. I'm sure that he thought trouble was the first thing we were bringing. we got back to the car. I'm like, okay, we're never doing that again.
Yeah.
A week later, we go back, but this time I look at a different app because the app that I was using was the Track My Hike app.
Yeah.
So I was going based on the GPS with that. But this one I downloaded. It was called All Trails,
Yeah.
and that one shows you all the trails, all the hiking trails in your area. And on that map, on that app, it shows private. That road that we took was private. Okay, then. So the second time we went. And what we did was where we turned back to go towards that private area, we just kept on following it. And remember I told you earlier that by the time we're coming down, we're not even tired anymore?
No.
That beat our ass. That road going up,
Yeah.
that beat our ass because that little road takes us back to the oasis, what the boys call it.
Okay.
It took us back to that. So then I'm like, okay, so that makes sense where this road, now we know, because you're climbing up, and you get to a point where either you go left or you go right the first time. And we chose to go left. Then we get to the point where it's either left or right again.
Yeah.
We went right. So if we keep doing that, if we would have gone left, at the Oasis, then we would have come back. And then where we make that left or right, we come back down towards the Oasis and come back out of the hiking trail. But it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It was a pain in the ass. But the second time we took our dogs, and here we go. They're not, to me, Huskies they're snow dogs. They're not, They're quiet, they're chill. And so we're taking the dogs. And every time a dog comes up to us, they're trying to, be brave and trying to, bark off the dogs. Shut up, dude. That dog will kick your ass. It's like little Chihuahua. That dog will kick your ass. Let's go. Keep coming. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Karen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, my dogs won't, they won't defend us from shit, dude. I lied because this is one time where Layla was walking the dog just right here on our block.
Yeah.
And she said a dog ran out of one of the properties and was running towards her.
Yeah.
And Max, the Siberian Husky, who's I think 4 now, he freaking got in the way and the dog bit him instead of my daughter.
Yeah.
So I told her, you see, they do protect you when they feel they need to protect you.
Yeah, they're all based on energy. They can tell your energy. So, I've learned, because I had a dog trainer for my rescue, I've learned if you go in, if you have your dog and you're walking with your dog and you see another dog, the most thing people do is they clinch. They don't notice they do it, but they clinch.
Yeah.
So it makes the dog alert. So they told me you go in there with confidence. If you go in there with confidence, the dog will be relaxed and be okay. But not my oldest one, because she's like I said, she's been institutionalized to where she's been back and forth to houses.
Yeah.
She's been in and out of the shelters, and people adopted her, then took her back.
Well, Max was like that. Max, when we first got him, he was, I guess, his owner. Hey, we have your dog, and he was like, you guys can keep it.
Yeah.
He never went back, and then there was multiple times where they had a list of people, and nobody went back to get him, and we showed up, and okay, well, we'll take him. They're like, are you sure? Because no one else does. That was a sign we should have said, fuck it, never mind then. We don't want this dog. But he's a good dog, dude. He's a good dog. We took him to get, my wife paid a friend of the family to groom him.
Yeah.
And she told us, you guys got lucky. This is the most well-behaved dog, husky, that I've ever groomed.
Yeah.
So he's a good dog, dude. He's a good dog. Luna's a good dog too, but she just, I think it's harder for her to understand things. I'll tell him to sit. We taught him to sit and all that good stuff easily, and she's stubborn as fuck.
Yeah, because when did you get her?
I think she was a year old when we got her, and again, same idea. The neighbor's cousin was like, hey, we have this dog, but we don't want to take her to the pound, and can you guys please take? They literally begged us to keep her.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and okay, but she's hard-headed, bro.
Nah, I did that with my puppy from day one when we got him. I rescued him as well, but he was a puppy mill. He was part of a puppy mill. So I guess the owner got evicted from a hotel, and then the mom and the dogs got thrown in the pound, and I went all the way to San Diego to get him.
Oh,
but
wow.
I went to get another dog. It was a blue one, but that one was scared of my oldest one. So, but he was the only one, Dax was the only one that was not afraid of her, wanted to play with her, wanted to go, and ever since then, they've been inseparable. because she suffered from really severe separation anxiety for being an only dog, and people constantly always leave her. So when we first got her, I think she ripped off our door frame.
Yeah.
But then she ripped off our blinds and chewed them up. She ripped off the door off the hinge, and like, I mean, literally, like, one of the cheap doors though. But I remember coming back home, and I'm just seeing trash everywhere. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And I look, and my door is chewed off the hinge.
Yeah, Max, when we first had him, he would run out a lot. We had to run after him. But one day he was chewing my freaking, like, fender area part of the car. Like, he broke off parts of the bumper out of my car. Like, what the fuck? I said, you're going back. You're going back. And my daughter's like, no, Dad, no. I'm like, fuck this shit. It eats cars. Fuck that. But I think he maybe scared off a mouse or a cat and ran up in the car, in the engine area. And I'm assuming that's what the problem was.
Most likely. But my dog trainer told me the reason why she was doing that is because when you walk out, that's the last place they see you, and they get so scared that they're in a new home or they're not comfortable. So what they do is they try to go out where the last time they saw you, and then if it's locked, then they get really aggravated. Then they start ripping it apart until they finally could get out and look for you. That's why sometimes you'll see dogs like just run out because they're scared because you left. They're like, they didn't allow you to leave. They're like, hey dude, like, where did he go? Is he coming back?
Yeah.
So it was hard for work. I could be all the way in Hermosa Beach, and then I would have to drive back to let her out to show her, like, hey, I'm coming back. Like, don't worry. But then once I got the puppy, it was done. She was happy. She had somebody to be around.
Well, Max was like that too. We would have parties and stuff. We would have to keep him trapped in the backyard. But he would come to the gate and just barking and crying and like wanting people's attention. And like, I think when we first had him, we took him to we drove him to Oxnard. We went down the coast.
Yeah.
The moment we got to like Santa Monica, dude, he started crying. Like, maybe he needs to use the restroom. No, it wasn't that. I'm thinking his old master took him to the beach a lot.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why his old master got rid of him, because this is not a beach dog.
Yeah.
So, they have a lot of energy, but this is not a beach dog. And he would cry and cry. Once we got off the coast, and he kind of let go.
Yeah.
And then we got to the when the Kmart was still in Camarillo, we were walking to the store, and we left the back window open, and he's crying and crying and crying. So I had to go back and get him and walk. And literally, I told the wife, "Well, you guys go inside. I'll just stay out here with him." And we just stayed outside with the dog. I'm like, "Never again, you fucker." And so he cried a lot. And then when we got Luna, at first it was like they hated each other. It was ugly. And then they got used to it, whatever. And now it's like we can have people out here. Normally, when you pulled up, Max would have been crying.
Yeah.
But because he has someone to chill with, who's this guy? Oh, fuck this guy.
Yeah, it's part of the pack,
Yeah.
It's a pack mentality.
And so we take him. Like I said, we take him hiking, and freaking like Luna. Like my wife takes with me, dude. I have to be where I can see my family.
Yeah.
So I have to be in the back. But she's pulling me. The dog's pulling me to catch up to be like freaking right next to Max, so they can walk together.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work that way, because if my wife's pulling both dogs, then they'll knock her down, especially going up or down a hill. And so I stay back until she's tugging, and I get 15 minutes later, she calms down, because by then she's tired, because she pulled so much that she's tired. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I have the trainer collar, so it has prongs. So if they try to pull, it digs into them, giving them a discomfort, and then they stop. Then they let down. So now I got it to the point where they both walk alongside of me.
Yeah.
But I only could do 2 at a time. I tried to do 3 one day.
I have some of those in the box right
Yeah.
here. But I look like a bad owner if I use them.
No, I use them all the time.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, because mine, if they see any little thing like a squirrel, a cat, they're on alert. And if you have those harnesses, like, they're just gonna pull you. That's what they're just like.
Because what happened one day was like, okay, you know what? She's not listening. We gotta train her somehow. I had the luscious, beautiful green grass in the front yard, and they went and dug holes, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I just spent like $100 and some to freaking get this planted all over again. And so I'm like, okay, let me buy this little collar and see what it's all about. and obviously they have thicker skin, thicker
Yeah.
fur. So I'm like, this isn't working. This isn't working. And I'm fucking playing with the settings.
Yeah.
And playing with the settings, and the next thing you hear is, ah! I'm like, my wife's like, Andy, what did you do? I'm like, I don't know.
See, I don't got those collars.
I shocked the dog. So they're in there, bro. I don't even use them.
Yeah, I don't use the e-collars, dude. My friend told me to use it.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah. So when I walk them, it kind of looks like a chain, but it has prongs, like beakles, like
Okay.
sticking out of it. So what it does, it when you pull on it, it tugs at their neck. And it makes them buckle down because if they keep pulling it, it's gonna dig more.
Gotcha.
But it's safe for them. It's for training.
Gotcha.
So now
I should have got those instead.
it's only like $20 at Petco.
Okay.
But now because dude, honestly, if they see any little thing, they're going for it. Like I remember when I took it out for a hike, Darla and Dax for a hike out on a Claremont. We were walking, and sure enough, a jackrabbit just takes off, and they were like, "Whoom!" They're ready to go for it, but as soon as they tugged it, I pulled back and it digs in, and they sit down and they start whimpering like, "Come on, just let me go get it." And I was like, "Nope."
Yeah.
And let's keep going. But then every time they see other dogs, because you don't know how other dogs. That's the whole reason why
Yeah.
me and my neighbor don't get along. Mr. Karen next door too. So his dog, he always lets his dog off a leash in the front yard, walks around, but the dog's not a nice dog. It likes to go after people. It likes to go after
okay.
people, dogs. It's not a nice dog. It's to the point where him and my puppy Dax, they go to a corner of the fence and they're trying to jump at each other. Like you'll see both of their heads going over the fence.
Yeah.
And trying to get after each other.
So you know how we go freaking on walks just right here during the week here at the park?
Yeah.
There was one day there was a bunch of kids sitting at the like the barbecue area,
Yeah.
which they weren't social distancing, assholes. But their freaking dog launched at us, like
Yeah.
freaking like trying to barking at us and like getting close to our feet. And so my boys kind of they didn't freak out, but I kind of gave the owners a look like, you fuckers.
Yeah.
The next loop around, they had him on the leash. If looks could kill, bro, I turned into a cannon right there, bro.
Well, the guy, because I went over and talked to them and asked them, like, hey, you know what? Is there anything we can do? Because I'm boarding that corner, so my dog doesn't go over there and try to, because he's coming close. Because that dog has hops. Like he could jump a 6-foot fence like there's no tomorrow. You give him a little running start, and he's jumping that fence. He's very agile. And I went over there to talk to him, and he's like, no, it's not my problem.
Ugh.
And I was like, dude, like, I'm trying to, like, I don't want my dogs attacking your dog, or I don't want your dog attacking mine. We already had a problem before. He's all, well, that's your problem. He's trying to defend his territory. I go, but you are seeing that they're jumping they're trying to jump the fence, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but that's not my problem.
Wow.
So I told him straight out, right then and there, I was like, if your dog comes over to my property, I'm shooting it. And he just looked at me like, are you serious? I go, yeah, I'm shooting it on the spot. And if you try to come on my property, I'm going to take that as a threat, and I'm shooting you.
Damn.
And he looked at me like, I go, try me. I go, try me. I go, it's part of my rights. And he kind of got mad, and he started calling me all kinds of names, and he called me like, he went racial.
Oh shit.
He went racial, and I laughed because I told him, the joke's on you, buddy. I'm Brazilian, bro.
So full of shit.
And he just looked at me. It's to this day, we just don't get along. Like I could drive by, and I'll make a face at him.
Love thy neighbor, bro. Love thy neighbor.
Not that guy, dude. He doesn't get along with anybody in the neighborhood. Everybody, like, I've talked to my neighbors.
Yeah.
He does not get along with any of them, and like that dog has bit a couple other dogs, and animal control has come out and refuses to sign anything, and I told him I think I'm kind of because I'm the younger one in the whole cul-de-sac that we live in,
Yeah.
so I'm not afraid to voice my opinion. And kind of my neighbors on the other side of the cul-de-sac actually like that I'm around,
There you go.
because they're like, well, fucking tell him something. And I go, I'm not afraid, because there's also the guy across the street who just likes to throw like random parties every now and then. And what happens is, and I don't want to be like, want to be like an ass, but his party leads into the street, and then we end up the next morning having trash all over, beer bottles broken places. So I remember one day he was throwing a party. I called the cops.
Fucking Karen.
I called the cops, and he knew it was me too. The next morning he talked to me, and I told him, I go, dude, I can have my dogs outside, and your party people tease my dogs.
Yeah.
I go, they leave trash. I go, look it, your trash is there, trash is there, trash is there. I go, why is it my job to pick up all your party's trash?
Yeah.
Why is it their jobs to pick up all their party's trash? And he just looked at me. He called me a Karen. He's all, so what are you, like the neighborhood watch now? He's all, I didn't know men could be Karen. I go, it's called respect, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, we're paying for all our homes, and I'm not paying to pick up your party's trash. I go, so the next time you have a party and I see that happen, I'm calling the cops. And it was because his party people were drinking in front of my house. They were outside their cars drinking, leaving trash all over. And
they're not keeping the party on his property.
They're coming over to our sides, and and I felt bad because that day as well is my neighbor that's in the last part of the cul-de-sac. There's a girl fight broke out into her driveway, and that's why I told him, I was like, dude, you had a fight break out over there, and I was like, it's all because of COVID. And I started laughing because how they're on the news, they're promoting all these like people are having like house parties and all this stuff, big warehouse parties, but they're not noticing that in the Latino community that these guys are renting out backyards to throw their banda parties. I'm not lying, dude. And they're getting bands to come out since they can't do it at the clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're going to people's backyards that have enough property to do these parties, and they're bringing up everybody. And so I told him, I go, dude, if you keep on having those parties, I'm just gonna call every time. Call every time. And he just looked at me like, you're an ass. And I'm like, yeah, that's who I am, dude.
Fucking Karen. Brazilian Karen.
It's just, I'm trying to show respect to people. I don't, if I'm a DJ, so whenever I play my music, I play it to a certain time. Once it gets dark, like say I go out there, it's like 4 o'clock and I start playing around. I do it till about 6, then I cut it off because I don't live with the youngest people around me. These people are like in their 60s, 70s. One lady's in her 90s. I'm not gonna throw a big ass party, and I gotta show respect to her,
Of course.
So that's the way I look at it.
I don't think there's any older people in this block. I don't think anyone complained about our party that day.
Bro, there's a Bronco down the street, so that only shows you what type of place this is.
This place is huge, dude.
Like, you see these lots, dude. It's like, these are horse properties, man.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised you don't have horses yet.
Nope, no horses.
Then you're going to get on there like every Latino when they're 5 years old, and that lady comes around with the horse to take pictures on there.
5 pictures, please. $5 $5 for picture. $5 for picture.
Yeah, man. But I don't know. I love my neighborhood. It's pretty cool, but yeah, we'll go from there.
Are you moving?
I plan to go to Texas.
I heard little birdie told me. What's his name? Yeah, he told me you're planning on moving to Texas.
Yeah, going back to Houston.
I mean, you can't leave. You're like the second person I know out here. That's it.
I just don't like California. I don't like California. I want to go back to where it's like you could be in the ghetto in Houston and they won't rob your house as long as they know you live there. They're cool from you. You can leave your doors unlocked, and it's nice. Then you have a governor who's not locking down anything. He just lets people do your thing.
Yeah,
do what you got to do. He's telling them, hey, there's a lot of things going on. There's COVID. You need to take the precautions. But he's leaving it up to the people. It's on you. Mm-hmm. Over here, we're on lockdown 2020. It's like, sheesh. It's like, when we're going to, So
I try not to get into politics and any of that bullshit, but since we're talking. Dude, it's like, how are you going to tell us to freaking lock it up, but then you're out there at freaking dinner parties and shit?
Well, I see... This is another thing where I'm seeing all sides of the. I'm not looking at just one side. Like, recently, the restaurants had to shut down, but people were getting pissed off that we're getting singled out. We're getting singled out. I go, shopping malls are not shutting down. I go, but the thing is, the difference between you guys and a shopping mall, those guys are constantly masked. They're constantly separated. I go, you guys had rules that nobody's abiding by, where if you're sitting down eating and talking, you need to, in between eating and talking, you need a mask.
Yeah.
But I could go out to your patio and I could see at least 20 to 30 people
Not wearing masks.
not wearing masks, talking, and are they 6 feet apart? No. So people just looked at me like, you're this guy, you're that guy. I was like, no, it's called, you need to see all aspects.
And you know what? That's the first thing you're right, because I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it that way, but you're right, because when I heard, they're shutting down the restaurants again, I'm like, well, what about all these freaking Walmarts there? You shut one Walmart up? That's it, dude. Nobody has COVID.
Yeah.
Nobody has COVID. My wife said she went over to Walmart the other day and it was like freaking crowded.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to keeping only certain people in the store? Like, what happened to the 25% or whatever? She said the store was packed.
It's called who has the bigger pockets to pay.
Walmart?
Walmart has the biggest pockets to pay. Dude.
But they don't pay their employees well?
We could go down that road.
Nope. No.
You should blame yourself for going to that job.
Hey, I was desperate, man. I was desperate, and my brother got me in.
Yeah.
It's not what you know, it's who you know, bro.
Yes. But it's like that everywhere, though.
Yeah.
Man. It's like, but that's why I was kind of like, I think I'm done with California. I want to go back to the H-Town. I love California.
Or you just want to go to Houston because it's the only place you can wear your Astro gear without criticism?
I wear it no matter what.
No, I see that, asshole. You bring that shit to my house.
I wear it no matter what. And you know what? Actually, I get more respect wearing it because I have a lot of other friends that are Astros fans in LA.
Yeah.
And they're scared to wear it. They're scared
okay.
because I will walk in like East LA. I was in a bar when we won the World Series. Full of Dodger fans, and I was
Dude, you were freaking listening to the game while we were freaking partying here that day.
Yeah, I was. But like I said, I'm from Houston, so that's always been my team. It's always going to be my team. And I'm a Tennessee Titan fan because they're the old Houston Oilers.
You want to go there?
Yeah,
Yeah. My Cowboys aren't doing so well.
What do you mean do so well? That was horrible. The defender waved at you guys like, you can't catch me.
Oh, man. I'm just like, the first... but like you said about your Astros, dude, I'll still sport my team, bro. That's still my team regardless. I can't get rid of this tattoo, bro.
Yeah.
It's there for good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cover it up.
What it's crazy is back when I was back in like 10 years ago, my son was about 8 years old.
Yeah.
And he kept on telling me he wants to switch teams because he was tired of Tennessee not winning, or losing. And he's like, it's time for me. I go, and I told him, you're only allowed once in your life to switch teams.
Once in a lifetime?
No, that my uncles told me that. They're like, hey, you know what? My uncles told me, they're like, you don't have to be one of us, this is who we are, but, we can't influence you. You're your own person, but you're only allowed once in your life to switch teams. So you take your pick. So what do you do? He came to me one day. He's like, all right, Dad, I switched teams. I was like, all right, well, who's your team now? He's all, Dallas Cowboys. I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, why of all the cowgirls, dude? But now I talk to him. How do you think about him? He's all, the garbage.
Oh. Well, I freaking, so my, I don't know if I said this already, but my boy, the little one, one day he was just messing with me. He was like, Dad, we live in LA now. Okay. So, we have LA teams out here too, I'm like, okay, what do you want to be? He's like, well, I want to be a Rams fan. And I'm like, okay. Like I fucking died inside, bro.
Let me go in there and talk to him. And let me show him some winning teams that he should be a fan of. So
he I guess the other two saw that my face, but I told him, as long as you love football, I don't care what team you go for. But deep down inside, I'm fucking lying out of my ass, bro. And so I guess the other two were giving him a hard time. You hurt your dad, you hurt Dad's feelings. That's messed up. So then he starts crying. My wife goes in the room and is like, what's wrong, mijo? I was just playing with my dad. I didn't mean to hurt his feelings. So he didn't mean it. But then this last was it 2 weeks ago? They had a bye week, or no, this a couple games ago. The kids are like, Dad, if the Cowboys lose again, we're done. I'm like, we're giving up. We're gonna switch teams. I'm like, are you guys seriously gonna give up on the Cowboys on one bad season?
It's been multiple
Shut up.
bad seasons.
Shut up.
It's been like that since 2000, dude.
If I pull up how many losses they've lost since I was a Cowboy fan, that's nothing compared to just one season. You guys are giving up on one season.
I don't even think they won a Super Bowl in your time you've been a fan, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
One. But they won 3 since I've been alive, so
okay.
that's all that matters, bro. How many fans out there can say the same?
Yeah, after he goes
Steelers fans, wait a minute.
after he goes into he goes up to Tom Landry's farm and says Jerry Jones and fires him on the spot.
It's a bad season. My Cowboys are just doing horrible, but that freaking Dak Prescott breaking his leg was bad.
He did the SpongeBob. Ow, my leg.
That was bad.
You guys getting rid of Romo was when it went bad, when it went downhill.
Honestly, dude, I think the day that Jerry Jones fired Jimmy Johnson was a day that God said, fuck you.
It was because Jimmy Johnson was one of those where I'm not listening to you. This is my team.
Yeah.
And this is how I'm going to do it.
And that's what I hear a lot of that. He wants to be part of the team. He wants to be there. He wants to be able to tell the players. That's what they were saying. Like, you can't really respect the guy, or the players can't really respect him when he treats you like your buddy.
Yeah.
He would take Romo to eat and freaking like. That's not you're the owner, man.
Well, look at it this way. Back in when the Astros won the World Series,
I wasn't born yet. I don't even know what that was, bro.
Dude, they were in the middle of a playoff hunt, and Jason Garrett and Jerry Jones were in LA watching the World Series.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Yeah,
you're right. I did see that. I did see that. So that's the thing that I hear a lot. Is like, I'm a diehard Cowboy fan, bro. You've known it. You've seen it. You've seen my house. You see my garage. You see my car. I'm just not into the whole politics things. I don't listen in into like half the players. I don't even know their fucking name. Yeah. But I do see that a lot. It's like, wait a minute, that's right. Like when Jason Garrett said we have a kicking issue. We have a problem with our kicking staff. Then homeboy, the owner, decides to contradict what he's saying by saying we don't have a kicking problem. You're not the coach, I say. You're the owner.
But he pays for that.
But but it's like you're kicking your coaches. You're kicking him in the nuts by contradicting what he's saying.
Yeah, when Jason Garrett won that Coaches of the Year trophy, that was really at Jerry Jones's house because he was the one coaching the team.
Yeah,
we call him Coach Clap.
The clap, yeah.
Because all he did was just clap. Oh, good game. We lost 40-0. All right, good game, guys.
I know my cousin, who's a diehard freaking Giants fan, who lives in El Paso. I don't understand. Well, not anymore, but
yeah.
He he would clown. Dude, he clowns on me. We would go back and forth, just shit talking, and I was always just running my mouth about how the Cowboys this and the Cowboys that, blah 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 blah. I'm pointing that I'm a fucking diehard Cowboy fan. The day that Romo broke his collarbone, I was done, dude. That's it. I'm not even posting that I'm watching the game anymore. I'm not. I'm just gonna keep quiet, dude. I think I jinxed the man.
You know what, dude? I remember, and I'll send. I have it laminated for all my Cowboy fans. Is first playoff game, Romo's in there, fumbles the damn hike, goes to the 1 yard line, doesn't get in, and sits on the 1 yard line, holding his helmet and crying.
Yep.
That will always be the ultimate fucking Romo.
The time that my wife saw that I was seriously hardcore Cowboy fan was when Dak first came out and he made it to the playoffs, and it was that Green Bay Packers game. We ended up going to the whole "it's a catch, not a catch" bullshit game. Yeah. That day we ended up going to I think Ish's little boy was turning 1 or 2. I'm not sure, but we were at Ish's house or celebrating the birthday party, and I think another Robert Ayala Robert was there too, and I'm watching the game on my phone on a different part of the room of the hall, and he's on the other side of the hall, and we can hear like, "Fuck, yeah, we're at a kids party, bro." And then but the way the hall was built, it had like this little cubby kind of like little like a sofa area and stuff, so you couldn't really. It was like a U kind of hall. And when the Cowboys lost that day, my wife comes up to me, "You okay, babe?" I'm like, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. What's another year, you know? She goes, "Babe, are you crying?" I'm like, nah. She goes, "Babe, look at wipe your eyes." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Holy shit, I am crying. That's when she learned that, damn, this guy loves his team.
Oh man, I love my team so much that we had our first Thursday night football. I think it was Thursday night or Monday night, one of the two.
Yeah.
I flew out to Foxborough to watch us play New England in the snow, and I was there at that game, and we got whooped 59-0. I was like that fat kid on the log. Yahweh, por favor,
no more. Throw the towel.
No, and Brady did not care. Bill Belichick were diabolical. They were just boom, 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 and I was like, and you know what was cool about it? Those guys bought me beer because I was a sport.
Yeah.
And I stood there and I watched it. I didn't hide like the other guys. And they're like, "Hey, we're going to be at this bar later. Come by." And I went and had a beer with them. And I walked in and, dude, people were coming to me, hugging me. And I was
It's okay. It's okay.
yeah.
It's all right.
And honestly, I was sad and I cried. Like, it was so cold that it was freezing my tears because I was like, that was a horrible. Then after that, we didn't get no prime games.
I have a buddy of mine, one of the guys, the regular listeners from the Valentine in the Morning.
Yeah.
Victor Santos. The moment the Cowboys lose, he's the first one that sends me a message. Hey, on the group chat that we have with the Valentine in the Morning, with the Valentine and Jill and Kevin, he sends me right away, dude. "Sorry, Andy. Sorry, Andy." It's like, yeah, dude, we lost. And like the Thanksgiving game, bro, I was like, well, what's the point in sitting here and like I'm like down? Like, fuck, do I start crying? I mean, what's that gonna do? Like, the first couple games, I was yelling in front of the TV, "Come on, let's go! You waited till the last 6 minutes to try to play," and screaming and shit. The day that Dak broke his leg, the wife, she had taken a nap, and she comes out and she goes, "The game's still on?" I thought it was over. She goes, "Why?" I'm like, "You guys are fucking quiet." I'm like, "Yeah, And then Jojo, little one, "Dak broke his leg." Just watching the replay on YouTube made me choke up. They're like, "No way, that's it. There goes our season." And then just last couple of times, I'm watching it, but am I really watching it? I mean, I'm on my phone.
Because you guys
but
got
it's
the
just,
B squad,
it's just
bro.
on the TV, dude. It's just there. And then a couple weeks ago, my wife's like, "Hey, babe, just come to." It was like a late game, and baby, just come to bed. I'm like, "Nah, they got 4 more minutes." But they're losing by like 40. I'm like, angels in the outfield. I'm gonna start doing this shit. A miracle might happen. No, it's just let the game finish. I'll go to bed after that. I mean, I'm gonna watch it regardless. They're losing, yes. Dude, even the bye week kicked their ass, bro. 33-2. The bye week whooped their ass. I can tell the wife, as long as I learn to accept it, then there's no point in raising my high blood pressure, dude. Because the first 4 games, my high blood pressure was through the roof, dude.
Yeah.
I went to go get a checkup with the doctor. The doctor's like, "Hey, so I'm gonna check your blood pressure." I'm like, "Okay, just a heads up. Cowboys lost yesterday." He goes, "So it's gonna be high, right?" Yeah, I barely hit the mark.
Well, you got to look at me. I've been a diehard Astros fan since I was a kid, and I remember when we were the worst team in baseball 3 years in a row, 100 game lost seasons. Nobody was going to the games. Like it was bad, and I still rocked it.
Yeah,
and I was still a fan, and people were like, "Dude, just change, be an LA fan now." I'm like, nope, I'm never gonna be an LA fan, dude. Like,
yeah,
I don't like that. I won't turn coat on that. And stuck it out, man. Now we're the most hated team in all of baseball, man.
There you go. There you go. I watch the. I'm not. I mean, I say I'm a Dodgers fan, but I don't really watch the sport. I'll watch it when they're in the World Series.
Yeah.
The Lakers. I won't. I mean, the first back in 2000 when they won those games in a row, those 3 games in a row. I remember coming out to the freaking parade. You know, I remember freaking, you know, that on Saviors, how everybody gets all crazy on Saviors. Dude, that was me. I wasn't getting crazy, but we're on Saviors. I remember my buddy Luis, and we call him Coco. They call him Coco. If he's listening, we were just sitting there, bro, on the curve, dude. We were just sitting there watching all the chaos happen on Saviors, like right in front of the McDonald's before you get to Channel Islands. We're just watching all the chaos, and the cop comes up to us. You two, you gotta go. Like, we're just sitting here. You gotta go. Like,
gotta celebrate, bro.
We're just here, dude. You want us to fucking be a part of that? You want us to set the trash can on fire? Because we can. But no, you guys gotta go.
You want to hear a story? Me and a group of my friends, 4 of us. So a total of 5. We're the reasons why Topper's Pizza stopped showing the LA Laker games.
You? What did you do?
It was a year they were getting whooped up by the Detroit Pistons. I mean, it was bad, and I had 3 friends that are Detroit fans. So at the time, my mom and them were at Topper's eating, and my son was there, so I had to go pick him up. And so we walked in, and we forgot it was finals day, and my friends come in wearing their Detroit gear, like, "Hey, what's up?" You know, and when we looked at the score, they were getting whooped by like 40 points. Like, it was a massacre. And that's when Detroit had a game that had Wallace, had Chauncey Billups. They had a squad, and they were whooping up on Kobe and them, and it was bad. And I remember this one Cholo dude. I remember him saying something to me, saying we need to get out because it's gonna get bad. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to grab my son so we could roll. And then when he said that, all I remember was a glass being broken over my friend's head.
Oh, shit.
And I just started swinging for the fences. My other friends started swinging. And then another dude came to back us up. The Cholo dude that told me this, I forgot his name. I remember running into him later on the route when I was selling. Years later, he's like, "You look familiar, Holmes." I'm like, I guess, yeah.
I have that kind of face.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. You're probably like the 3rd person that's told me that. He's like, I think you were that vato that fucking his guys got beat up at Port Hueneme Toppers. I'm like, yeah, dude, it was him. And it was random, dude, but he's still living the life, bro. He's still hardcore. Right. Yeah, it turned into all-out brawls. Like, we were all going at it. And then I remember Oxnard PD showing at Port Hueneme PD. Oxnard PD comes in and has us all like handcuffed, and I was like, and they're like, "Who started it?" And we're like, "We didn't start it. We just walked in." And then next thing you know, after that, Toppers said we're not going to be showing the Laker games.
Damn, because of you guys.
Because then 2 years later, same squad, we were the reasons why Cronin stopped showing the Raider games.
Fuck, dude.
That one was fun. That was we walked in there because the same guys, they're Broncos fans, so we're all trying to go somewhere to watch the game where there's no Raider Nation because Raider Nation rolls deep. So when we called Cronies, because we had a friend that worked there, she told us, she's like, yeah, no one's there. So she's like, come through. They're at the other Cronies in Camarillo. We're like, all right, cool. So we went to Ventura. And then I think by halftime, a few Raiders fans started rolling in. Then next thing you know, we see a whole caravan roll up. And we're like, oh man, dude. And we were like, dude, just watch the game. Let's just watch the game. Needless to say, it turned out to another brawl. And then all I heard was my friend say, I got stuck, and everybody scattered, and he lays on the floor. And I'm like, what? And we look, and he got stabbed.
Oh, shit. Hey, they do say that Raider fans are criminals.
He got stabbed.
And rapists.
We were tripping out. We were like, holy crap, he got fucking... Dude, but you know what? I went to a couple games up in Oakland in the Black Hole.
Yeah.
But I went with my black Tennessee Titan jersey because if you're going to sit in the Black Hole, it has to be black.
Yeah.
And I remember them kicking out. This guy had a really good Marcus Allen throwback jersey, like killer.
Yeah.
Like I even looked at it like I would beat him up just for that jersey. Like it was a nice one. And I remember one guy yell out like, "Hey, get the F out of here. This is the Black Hole. Or you better take that jersey off." And I'm like, damn, this is some people.
Oh, shit.
And it's true. You have to wear all black. And I went in there with my black Titans jersey. And my girl at the time, she went in there with her black Raiders jersey. And they kick him out. I'm like, dude, if they're kicking out their own kind, I just met him.
Wow. Well, let's end this podcast before my wife kicks you out too.
Okay.
But before I do, if I don't see you before Christmas, have a happy Christmas and happy New Year.
Yes.
And again, like always, bro, thank you for riding with me.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Indie Podcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean.